Hello on a Sunday night. Hello, Megalich. Jumping in the first comment. Been futzing about a bit just in the lead up to this. Just a little bit. I feel like I've had this Irish whiskey for a stupidly long time, and there's only there's a bit left in there. Not just going to swig that. I feel like I haven't tasted it for a while. Just going to pour a little bit on ice, because that's how I like to taste things. Chilled, little clunky ice ASMR. It's interesting. It's a limited thing they did. Whiskey finished in craft beer barrels. This was finished in barrels that previously had stout beer. And can definitely taste the echoes of beer. Right, what are we going to do? Discord. Megaleech doing the 40 spotted Mandarin gin, blood orange soda, orange syrup with stevia sweetener. Wowzers. That sounds tasty. That sounds very tasty. I'm just sipping Irish whiskey. Might make an old-fashioned with that. Like I'm literally just wanting to use up. That's probably more than I'd use in a single drink. Not probably. I'm going with definitely. But I may do that. The color is weird tonight, or is that just me? Sometimes I think it is just me. I've been struggling the last hour or so with trying to make a clarified cocktail, which is because I made the stupid mistake of using coconut milk and not dairy milk, and it's fucking with me. So that's not my sort of, actually it's not terrible, the Jamesons. And I'm sure anyone who's a big Irish whiskey fan would go, duh, you got Jamesons, no wonder you don't love it. I don't hate it though. I think I will make an in-glass old-fashioned with it. Did I get a skewer? I thought I like to prepare. What did I do? Right. Let's see what's happening. Yeah, that is not what I wanted. Maybe one of these things where I'll go and get another skewer and then I'll instantly... Yep, I did. It's there next to the orange. I was going to say, as soon as I go and get another one, I'll find the first one I got. And I did. Right. No, I don't even have to go to the fridge to get syrup because I didn't put this syrup away. And the bitters is here too. Actually, maybe the orange bitters would be the go with this. All right. Oh, the freaking standing up. Should have got a jigger. Damn it. Yeah, I've been using my jigger, haven't I? Rinse that sucker out. All right. Kinda, sorta getting my shit together. Settle in for what's hopefully a relaxing Sunday night before going to the orifice tomorrow. against my will and better judgment. But that's what they're saying these days. Sugar crust on here. Candy. All right, so a little bit of... Do you want to use this up? I'm going to make some more. I find the making process to be fun. All right. Und Irish whiskey. And let's peel us a bit of orange. Now, I don't know how this orange is going to peel yet. I'm going to first go peeling it. Let's give it a decent peel. All right. That's pretty good. Oh, man, I love the smell of orange oil there. Let's do it. Spritz. Ooh, that's a good spray of oil over my drink. I like that. Drop it in for some extra flavor. And time to stab a cherry. Going spearfishing. See how this works out. Getting to the stage where it's more and more difficult to actually spear one. Yep, got one. Because there are fewer in the jar. And it's easier for them to move around. Rather than get impaled on the skewer. Oh! You went there, Mega Leech. Smell of orange oil quite appealing. Well done. Perfect dad joke. No notes. Okay. Crossing out some things. And I'm just going to double check something. That didn't go. Okay, I was just doing a color adjustment there. I thought it was funny, but I thought I'd done the color adjustment. Also, I feel like my beard's getting quite big. Nothing as prodigious as yours was, Mega Leech, before you trimmed it. But for me, this is about the most beard I've ever had. I was just thinking as the beard's almost white, and the remnant of the color will grow out over the course of the year. If I don't get a trim of one or both by Christmas, I'll very much be looking like Santa. Stir, stir, stir. Oh, okay, that's tasty. That is really good. Feeling like I maybe should have put slightly less of my sugar syrup in, because overpowering the Irish whiskey bit. Hey, Liam, I'm doing well. How are you doing? It's a fun old Sunday night, just chilling out. In fact, I need to see what's happening with this. This thing here, look. See, where are we? Doing a clarified cocktail, pouring it through a filter, it's going in there. It's not coming out completely clear. I think I'm going to have to do it again, but that's okay. Might even leave it overnight while I go to bed. Made up a fair bit of this thing. Just going to see how much of it gets done during this stream, where I can keep an eye on it. Otherwise, I leave it overnight. It's an experiment. That cocktail actually has cider vinegar. Yeah, that would be the right way to say it. Cider vinegar. Anyway, call it apple cider vinegar with pomegranate. So it's quite flavorful, and I thought it would probably go really well in a clarified cocktail. So that's what I'm doing. And we'll see how that goes. Essentially. Again, I think the flavor in this Irish whiskey is so light, and the flavor in my sugar syrup is so bold. I should have put slightly less of my. Not that I put a lot of the sugar syrup in, but I should have put a bit less of my sugar syrup in, because I think it's dominating the Irish whiskey. But experiments, live and learn. And you just have a bottle of Irish whiskey for the sake of it. I mean, maybe I'll lash out and maybe I'll get a more upmarket Irish whiskey next time. I am not much. Actually, I might do a quick look. What are we doing? And Murphy's opening hours. Early. Okay, well, that's wrong. We don't want that. Alrighty. Ooh, what's Nick want me to get? American Whiskey Gems. They're probably super expensive. Very old Barton, 100 proof. 750 mils, $100. That's a good whiskey. That's actually probably responsible. See, then it's getting crazy. High West Barrel Select, $160. I'm not paying that for an American whiskey. 12-year-old bourbon, $200. Not getting that. Ooh, 18-year-old Tennessee whiskey, $300. I'm sure for some mad old collectors, those are a good deal. I ain't getting them though. If I'm going to spend a stupid amount, it's probably going to be on an Australian whiskey because I'm parochial like that. All right. I'm literally just seeing. Let's see what's the most expensive Irish whiskies Dan Murphy's has. There you go. Although it's out of stock, they did have a 37-year-old Teeling for over $12,000. I always get amazed when a place like Dan Murphy's sells something really expensive because it's not what I associate them with. But they do have a $4,000 Teeling in stock. You know what I do? This is a sort of stupid trollish thing I'd do. Like if I won lotto, I think I'd just do weird trollish things on the internet. I'd buy like this $4,000 bottle of whiskey and then make a YouTube video where I had it with Coke or something just to fucking make people lose their minds. So it's got special Teeling ones, another one for $200. Bushmills 21-year-old, $345. Well, there's the difference. Teeling 32-year-olds, that's $3,000. Okay, yeah. Well, they got a lot of expensive Teelings. 150. 16-year-old Bushmills, 180. Redbreast 12, that's supposed to be really good. It's a little bit expensive. $130. I don't really want to spend that much on Irish whiskey. But what else? Okay. 12-year-old Whistler single malt 77. That seems like a good price. I have to look up some reviews. Writer's Tears Double Oak Irish Whiskey, $100. I mean, I like the idea. Oh, it's got bad reviews. Not that I trust people who write reviews for Dan Murphy's, quite honestly. Ooh, they've got a Teeling's single malt on special. I think I should get that. There you go. That's almost answered my question. Should I get a higher quality Irish whiskey? A Teeling single malt on special. I think I went a couple months without buying booze. Then I've had a rush of blood. And I've just bought half a dozen bottles in the last couple of weeks. What are you going to do? I'm a compulsive shopper. Not as bad as some, but I tell you what, the COVID lockdowns got me hooked on online shopping. I don't do this stuff. You know, a lot of people talk about how they buy from Amazon, and I'm not going to judge anyone who does because I've got some things from Amazon, but I don't get much because they're basically a pretty evil company. They do get money from me, but you know, no bloody ethical consumption's possible in late stage capitalism. But personally, I just try to limit how much money I give them. I don't put much effort into that. I don't want to like set myself up. I am a paragon of moral virtue. I'm not. I'm actually a very lazy person. It's like, I'm really liking this old fashioned, but I don't think it's because of the whiskey. I think it's because of my sugar syrup. So I should consciously put less of my syrup in next time. But mind you, this sugar syrup I feel like the best thing I've ever made. Which is the thing. I use it to make liqueur sometimes. Maybe I could make another whiskey liqueur. I could empty a couple more bottles and then just have a ready to pour whiskey liqueur in my fridge. Because that's tasty. It's unhealthy because the way I make it is 25% sugar, which is, you know, a lot of sugar. Maybe I should make one with less sugar. Well, actually, maybe I should just make, rather than go the whole way with the liqueur. Yeah, I should make. Actually, God, duh, it just popped into my head. I was planning on doing because I'm getting a new barrel and I want to do a comparison of new barrel versus old barrel. How much difference does it make? And I was going to keep it simple and do old fashions. So that's what I'll do. It'll give me an excuse to make a little bit more of the syrup, but it won't be as sweet. I'm glad I've got you all to sound these things out on. Basically, it's just me talking to myself, but that's okay. So I kind of settled already on the Irish whiskey I want to get. Ooh, maybe I'll do that. I'll go into. There's a Dan's in the city. Seeing I'm going into the city tomorrow, a 1 litre Paddy's Irish whiskey, $70. Oh, I don't want to go that cheap, really. The Teeling single malt's going to be good. I'm going to get that. Oh, Teeling do a stout cask one as well. There you go. Stout cask. Stumbling over my words. I think I've made a decision. We'll see if I remember that. Jamison's Blackberry. No, I'm going to get the Teeling single malt, I think. Teeling single grain. There you go. Dan Murphy's seems very favorably disposed to Teeling, actually. remember I got, I was basically Pachin, Irish moonshine, and it was from the, I think it was from the Teeling distillery. It wasn't labelled with their name, but you looked at it and it said which distillery it was from. I think it was from the Teeling distillery. Proper 12. That's Conor McGregor's Irish whiskey. It's a cheapie. Well, people actually seem to like it. Mm. Wow, and there's another cheaper one that's also got really good reviews. Geez, maybe I should get a cheap one. How much cheaper is that? There's $30 cheaper. Jesus, maybe I should get. God, maybe I should get a cheap one. Wow, there you go. It's a whole thing. Oh, then we're in the out of stocks. Okay. Oh, that's really something for me to think about, though. Two cheap ones, the Proper 12 and the Whistler. You know what? I'm going to ask because I know an Irish guy who's a whiskey nerd. Hey, Dr. Abigail. It's interesting that term Broken Arrow because there was a movie called that with John Travolta and Christian Slater. And they said it's called a broken arrow if they lose a nuclear weapon. When you say a couple, I think they've lost two. I could be wrong. The one that I'm commemorating today that was lost about 65 years ago, and one that was lost about, I think it's closer to about 45 years ago. And I think they lost it like up around the Arctic. And I know they dropped one out of a plane on US soil. Didn't detonate. And of course, because there's a whole thing. The conventional explosive that triggers the nuclear explosive is usually like hundreds of kilograms of conventional explosive, which is a pretty fucking big explosion. But it's to trigger the nuclear reaction. All right, actually, we're on the goddamn internet. But my point, Dr. Abigail, I'm not sure if broken arrow is really their term for a lost nuclear warhead because it's used in We Were Soldiers, which is in the Vietnam War. And the term broken arrow is for having your position overrun by the enemy. Okay. How many nuclear bombs has the US lost? 6. Oh my God. Oh, yes. And this is confirming nuclear weapon misadventures are called broken arrows. That actually includes, it's not just the loss, it's an accidental firing. 6 have been lost and never recovered. Isn't it cool? An accidental firing is also a broken arrow. Neat. 6. Oh my God. That's disconcerting, isn't it? Really? That's about 6 more than you'd want to lose. Oh my word. That's a cheery goddamn thought on a Sunday night. Oh, nice. Modern nuclear weapons have 3 stages: conventional explosives, fission bomb, which then triggers a fusion bomb. Yeah, well, I think this one that I'm commemorating today from 65 years ago, it was just conventional bomb and nuclear bomb. I think it was only 2 parts. And some of the claims say that it didn't actually have the nuclear component and some people say it did. But I mean, again, the US loses a nuclear bomb and says, "Oh, don't worry, the nuclear part wasn't actually in it." Do we believe him? I don't know. So, but yes, oh my God, it to me, it is a very disconcerting thing that the US loses nuclear bombs. It's very off-putting to me. Sorry, I'm just going to close the door over here. All right. To quote Matthew McConaughey, there's various silly things I can't stop myself from saying. When I say all right, I almost always have to go, all right. So the two-stage fission bombs are called atom bombs to distinguish them from modern nuclear bombs, which are fusion bombs. There. Isn't it fun that we've been building these stupid fucking things for so many years? There's different types of them. But yes, to lose one nuclear bomb could be considered a misfortune. To lose two reeks of carelessness. To lose 6 is frankly fucking terrifying. All right, I'm just going to randomly look in this book, the PDT, Please Don't Tell cocktail book. See if I find something I want to make. El Burro, tequila, ginger beer, lime juice, pineapple, and splash of absinthe. I mean, I think I'd do that in a highball with my spiced orange ginger ale. That actually sounds pretty good. Nel Diablo, tequila, ginger beer. They like their tequila and ginger beer. Creme de cassis and lemon juice. Mezcal, sherry, allspice. What? Oh man, that actually sounds good. Mezcal, sherry, allspice, and white creme de cacao. Dang. That'd mean opening my sherry bottle. I do actually have a sherry bottle. Yes, good on us and our weapons of mass destruction. El Puente. I seem to have fallen into a bunch of tequila drinks. It's tequila, grapefruit, vermouth, elderflower. Ooh. Wow, that's an interesting mix. An ephemeral, Old Tom gin, Blanc vermouth, elderflower, and bitters. Espresso bongo. That's a good name. Rum, espresso liqueur, lime juice, pineapple, orange, passion fruit. Simple. Honestly, that's a fun tiki drink. I could probably handle that. Just a little bit of coffee. So Mr. Black. Rum, coffee, lime. I haven't made I don't think I want to do that tonight. I'm thinking for my cocktail channel. I haven't done a tiki drink for a while. That could be good. This one, Riesling, pear brandy, curacao, honey syrup bitters. That's a comparatively low ABV. Wine with some liqueur. Oh, actually, brandy's not really a liqueur, is it? It's a brandy. That espresso bongo's really caught my eye, though. Next time, that's an orange juice one. Okay, next time I got orange juice. Because I used all my orange juice in the clarified cocktail I'm making. Forget about it. Bourbon, lemon juice, amaretto, and fig jam. Fuck, I'm good. Just ask me. Fish House Punch. That is a weird name drink. I've seen it before. It's named after a place. The Fish House was like a place, a bar, I think. Flora Astoria, gin, blanc vermouth, dry vermouth, falernum, lavender tincture. I don't think I can bother doing that. Flying Dutchman, plum brandy, Geneva, creme yvette, lemon juice, pineapple juice. Hellion, hello, Kirsten. Fish House Punk is good name for a band. Excellent name for a band. And I think it shouldn't be a punk band. It should possibly be a just folk band. Fog Cutter. It's a fairly traditional one. It's interesting. They have a mix of quite traditional ones, French 75, and their in-house ones. A French maid. Ooh la la. So we do cognac, ginger beer. They fucking love their ginger beer. Lime juice, simple syrup, falernum, cucumber wheels, and mint leaves. Muddle the cucumber, mint, and syrup. Then add all the contents and shake with glass. I mean, that sounds pretty good, honestly. Fritz Verde. Blanco tequila, lime juice, pomegranate molasses, 2 strawberries. Green bell pepper, which I guess that's capsicum to us. So it's like put the strawberries, capsicum, molasses in a mixing glass and muddle, and let everything else shake with ice and fine strain. Honestly, again, that sounds like a real fun twist on a margarita. Like that sounds good. That sounds good. A Gilchrist, named after the cricketer? Probably not. Scotch whiskey, pear brandy, grapefruit juice, and Amaro. Wowzers. The girl from Jerez. Rum Clement VSOP, cachaça, lime juice, sherry, allspice. Man, I'm getting good ideas for drinks in here. Ooh, yes, Kirsten. Strawberry and basil. Also muddling and I'm just thinking a drink where you muddle strawberry and basil with your syrup and then put the components, shake on ice, strain into a glass, and use strawberry and basil as garnish as well. I think so. That is an excellent idea. When you like grapefruit and rosemary. I'm not so fond of grapefruit juice, actually. The bitterness I'm not big on. But what's the one that I was just looking at? It was just here. The Fresa Verde. Actually, that one I was looking at, because it was strawberries and green capsicum, it would go well with a bit of basil added to it, I think. And then use basil and strawberry as garnish. I actually think that sounds like a really good drink. And I've got pomegranate molasses. Got it from, I was going to say health food store, but I think it was just from the supermarket. They say Bianco tequila. I think I'd use Reposado. I've got strawberries. Should I go the whole way and do this? I kind of feel like I should. Fine strain into a coupe. Kind of feel like I should. You're not supposed to do it on ice, but I might just put it on ice. Right. Are there capsicums in the fridge? I don't even know if there are any capsicums in the fridge. Let me have a look. Uh, no. And I don't have any basil to hand either. There might be basil out there in the garden. Look, I really like the sound of that one. I'll do it another time. Yes, it's strawberry season. They're very cheap at the moment. I got a little punt for like $2. Young Ms. Angry really likes the strawberries. So she always asks me to get them when they're in season. I reckon I'm going to make that one this week. I just got to decide. I might just make it with basil, actually. Not bother with the capsicum. Because it just sounds really good. No, I might just have a little tasty taste of one of my barrel-aged cocktails. Hey, Greg. How you doing, man? Nice to see you. All right. I'm just going to grab a bottle at random because I kind of forget what they all are anyway. God, there's 3 of them in here. And one over there. You know what? This one's closest to being gone. I'll have more fridge space if I eventually finish it. And I don't even remember which one this is. I just remember they're all pretty good. So, they're all kind of Manhattan variations. That's good. Do one more drink of that and the bottle will be empty. Oh, so there is a really loud cicada outside. All right, so old news, US lost 6 nuclear weapons. New news, the US shot down a thing they claimed to be a Chinese spy balloon. Good fucking God. Over in WA, a teen was killed, fatal mauling in the Swan River. Good Lord. That's fucking rare. Wowzers. Brian Houston finally resigned from Hillsong after ignoring the fact that he'd been implicated for years in covering up his father's pedophilia. Ha ha. So I'm assuming the microphone is actually picking it up because that cicada or cicadas out there are really loud. Good Lord. Noisy, bloody cicadas. Oh, good God, that's yummy. Man. I completely forget what that was. It's fucking yummy, though. Is there some sort of, what do we call it? Manhattan variation. Okay. Try and remember. Okay. Most recent one, that's the Mexican Lover. That's that one. Then there was the Rosina, which was a Mezcal one, which is not this. This might be the Cameo. That was a... Or is this my hot toddy? It's the thing I meant to have hot. It's really fucking yummy cold. I think it's the hot toddy. It's designed to be a hot toddy. And it was very nice warm, but it's fucking nice cold too. All right. Oh yeah, and I forgot my own house blend, barrel aged whiskey. I was just in the verge of saying maybe I should use this to start an infinity bottle, but I already decided I'm going to use it for. I'm going to do a blend for barrel aged old fashioned. When I get my new barrel, which will be in the next couple of days, and it takes a couple of days to prepare, or 1 day with water, just so it absorbs water and the staves swell a bit, and that's the idea that it stops it from leaking. And then I put some port or something in there to prime it and season it so it's got a nice flavor going into the oak. And then I put my first drink in. Although I guess if I'm doing a cocktail, I don't really need to do the seasoning with the port. But maybe, who knows? Life's an adventure. Who knows what I'll do? I'm a wild and crazy and wacky guy, and I can't be stopped. So, yeah. I've got someone doing another one of this. Someone randomly doing a story. Microsoft has one of those sound deadening rooms, and anechoic, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but sound deadening room. You're saying no one's been able to stay now, but that's the folklore that goes with those rooms. But although, as we mentioned on a previous stream, he's a little bit dubious in that he seems to take cash from Elon Musk to say self-driving cars are cool. Veritasium, a YouTube channel, Veritasium, put pay to that one by just, I think he stayed in one of those rooms for hours, and he said, "I'm not even bothered. Like they say, you go crazy. I'm not bothered or crazy. I'm just kind of bored now, so I'm coming out." So that whole thing about people not being able to stay in one of those sound deadening rooms for more than an hour seems more hype than reality. I think I'd have a hard time because I think with my tinnitus, if I was in one of those sound deadening rooms, my tinnitus might sound really bad in my ears. Although I don't know because I've never been in one. Okay, The Guardian's got a cocktail of the week. Oh, and honestly, I can't resist this headline either. I was just looking at the news headlines. Oh my god, that cicada is so fucking loud. And I'm also just kind of testing what this is doing. Right, I probably shouldn't have done what I just did, but I just did it. And there's no going back. So that'll stop me fidgeting with it because I just need to leave that for like an hour now. Like till I go to bed, really. Ugh. Yeah, I'd be interested in that thing with those sound deadening rooms if it makes tinnitus better or worse. My suspicion is worse. Because when I notice my tinnitus the most is usually when I'm in bed and it's relatively quiet and suddenly I realize there's a really loud noise in my ears even though there's no noise. Very similar to that fucking cicada, actually. It's not the noise the cicada is making is not 100 miles removed from the noise my tinnitus makes. Anyway, does the Guardian know shit about cocktails? I love the sound of it. Cocktail of the week: the Thin White Duke's Ooh Fashioned. So it's obviously the Thin White Duke is obviously a Bowie reference. Oh, okay. It's Ooh Fashion. Okay. Named after the Bowie song Fashion. I get it now. Okay, so it's an old-fashioned with marmalade in it. Honestly, not a terrible idea. I've still got some of that lime marmalade from Archie Rose. I'm not going to make it tonight. I'm not going to drink any. Well, I have this, but after this, I'm not drinking any more. I'm not going to drink any more alcohol tonight. But yeah, an old fashioned with marmalade in it. So they say put the marmalade in the bottom of your glass, add the bitters and stir till the marmalade loosens. Add a third of the whiskey and stir so the marmalade loosens further. Ice, stir, and finish with your whiskey. Oh, God, okay. They're putting small cubes of ice in their whiskey. No, I just put one big cube. Honestly, that sounds like an interesting enough drink. But I've got to tell you, okay, this other headline that caught my eye. I'm 40 this year on dating apps for the first time. Here's 11 things I learned. Suddenly single for the first time in 15 years. God, that'd be a fucking shock. Landed with a thud in the landscape that is dating apps. Okay. Every man, his dog, and random babies. Dogs are a big deal. They're in most guys' photos. Potential affection and tolerance of dogs is a deal breaker for many. Men holding babies is another trend. Okay, she reckons dogs and babies are like holding up a fish in your thing. Chemistry and texting doesn't always translate. Expect to waste hours engaging in useless small talk. And they, all right. Chemistry can only be measured in person. Pheromones are there a reason. I think, yeah, if you're on a dating app, you've got to do a real life meetup relatively quickly. Pineapple pizza debate. Critique the lame things people say and tell me about yourself boxes. I'm not sure why so many people need to bring up they don't believe on pineapple in pizza. Picture can tell 1,000 words. Either they have dirty mirrors in their selfies, or they look too serious, or they use corporate professional headshots. If I see one more gym mirror selfie, it's a no. I look for the ones where they're having fun, not looking ominous. Be prepared for Houdinis. Wasted time on small talk and then stood up or disappeared. Worst was 1 hour before meeting someone. It's not me, it's dopamine. I was whining to my psychologist about the Houdinis, asking what was wrong with me. She explained, when you come out of a relationship, your brain's been through trauma. Seeking dopamine hits to feel good again. When we get a message or a new match, it spikes dopamine. Okay. Tinder was scary. I deleted Tinder twice. I'm no prude, but it almost had an I'm going to rock up at your door and enter you vibe. It's equivalent of the 3 a.m. pickup at the end of a bar. Yep. She says Hinge and Bumble are calmer than Tinder. That sounds right. It's a numbers game. You have to do a lot of it. Yep. Have Google handy for acronyms and slang. Avoid ones that say they don't do drama. I actually tend to agree with that. People who say that are usually there's something wrong with them, honestly. Call me old fashioned. My best single stories is in guys I met in real life. Okay. It's actually a relatively boring article. I'm slightly disappointed. Well, trying to convince husband to buy you a giant zucchini. Say no more. I assume you saw one at a farm or something. It's I'm intrigued. Is this just because you want to look at it? Is it for a particular dish, I'm not huge on zucchini myself, so I'm not really sure what the various uses for it might be. Oh, yeah, cool. You saw it on the side of the road store. Yes, I thought maybe because you're in the country area outside of Adelaide that you might have actually, yeah, seen one at a farm roadside store. Oh, you got a picture posted in the Discord. I love it. It's like normally I'd hear the Discord alert. I'm not sure I'd hear it over the fucking cicadas at the moment. They're a nightmare. I just thought of something I'm going to do with my. I obsess over these fucking clarified cocktails. There's something wrong with me. But. Yeah, alright. I think I finally got it to where it's filtering properly. I was having a hard time with it. So you literally just want zucchini slices. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, so the microphone's not picking up the cicadas. Well, that's good. My apologies for bringing it up all the time because I'm finding it super duper fucking stressful, distracting. Oh yeah, okay. I'm going to share the giant zucchini photo. Where are we? Share the screen. And there it is. That is a pretty fucking big zucchini. What are they also selling? Normal zucchinis $1 each. Those are great prices. Oh, and that's just there, so you just take them. So a little thing of tomatoes, what's that, $1.50? Lebanese eggplant, 78 cents. How the fuck are you? Oh no, 75 cents. And that's a funny sort of pumpkin squash thing for 20 cents. Oh no, a little yellow squash for 50 cents. Those are good prices. Are those pomegranates? I think it's tomatoes on the right and pomegranates on the left. I'm getting inordinately interested in the produce. That's just me wanting to know what the produce is. I saw that a lot. Was it driving around Tasmania? Lots of roadside produce with a little honesty box. Drinking some water. You know. Sometimes I feel compelled to say it was melted ice, which is it different to just? I don't know. I might have one of my lightly flavored sodas though, just as a distraction. We were speaking about grapefruit earlier. I've got what's this? There you go, grapefruit and rosemary. Junzo. Dr. Abigail, that's free. How much are they selling the concept of the inevitability of death for? On a farm, they'll just take you and see some of the cattle that died or something, just to remind you that death comes for us all. And Strictly Sega, how you doing? Soda pouring ASMR. Sorry, I just thought I'd give you some bubbles ASMR. Not sure how well that came across on the microphone. Cheers, y'all. I don't know. I'm really surprised how much I like these cappies. I'm not that big on soda water, and these are just really lightly flavored, not even artificial sweetener. There's no sugar, there's no artificial sweetener. There's just a really light fruit flavor and light herbal flavor. And if I'd never had them and someone asked me, does this sound like something you'd like? I'd say, no, that doesn't sound like something I'd like. But I like them. All right. Oh my God. You caught me drinking when I read that you watched your first Russ Meyer movie last night. Russ Meyer, who made all these exploitation films in the 70s, and he was more than a tad obsessed with women with very large breasts. Things like, what is it? Valley of the Dolls was one of his famous ones. Ultra Vixens. Russ Meyer was a character. It's a character. Now I feel like looking him up. Let's look him up. Russ Meyer, American film director. Let's look up his IMDb. So he died in 2004, so he's been dead for nearly 20 years. And was he? He was 82 when he died. Now look up his IMDb. What are all these films? Russ Albion Meyer, that was his real name. Born in San Leandro, California. Dad was a cop. Credits. Good Lord. See all. Of course I want to see all. Okay, let's go through his movie titles. Some short films. Okay, first full length is called Mr. T's, Teas, and His Playthings, and he made that in 1959. 1961, he made something called Eve and the Handyman. Then he did one called Erotica. Then Wild Gals of the Naked West, Europe in the Raw, Heavenly Bodies, Lorna, Fanny Hill, Mudhoney, Faster Pussycat, Kill Kill, which I think is one of his most famous named films, Faster Pussycat, Kill Kill. Then Motorpsycho, Mondo Topless, How Much Loving Does a Normal Couple Need, Confessions of a Sexy Super Vixen, Finders, Keepers, Lovers, Weepers, Vixen, Cherry, Harry, and Raquel, Beyond the Valley of the Dolls, The 7 Minutes, Slaves, Super Vixens, Up, Beneath the Valley of the Ultra Vixens. Then there was just a music video. Mondo, Topless, Melissa Mounds, Pandora Peaks. Oh, good Lord. What? He's a character. Russ Meyer was a character. So you're saying Super Vixens you saw very violent to him. Yeah, I don't think his attitudes were very progressive. Yeah, I think in terms of the names of his movies, Faster Pussycat Kill Kill was one of the best known names of his movies. So I think, yeah, product of his times, maybe. I think we could maybe settle on Not a Great Guy. But yes, it's the whole thing. All right, well, that was a thing that I looked up. Is there any other interesting news? Deadly snake interrupts women's smoko. Why not? I saw someone had a little bit of video of a snake going off the roof. And it was pretty small. It's a very skinny snake. It might have been about a meter in length, might have been shorter than that. And it sort of goes, it's on the roof and it sort of goes off the gutter and it's hanging out like, yeah, fuck it, I want to go. And then it just launches itself. It just launches itself off the roof and goes doosh on the footpath and wanders away. And I was looking at the video and I just like to think the snake in Snake Talk shouted, "Leroy Jenkins," as it leapt off the roof. It was just a snake not giving a fuck. Just launching itself into space. I did see comments of people saying, "Oh God, I didn't know snakes could do that." And I go, "What? It didn't do much. It just jumped off a roof." I believe, now I'm going to look this up before I say too much, because some snakes can do really weird things. And I'm looking it up. Flying snakes. All right. So, all right. I'm going to say, fuck you. Site that wants to put a paywall in. Let's see. All right. So, oh, God damn it. Sorry. All right. Oh, for fuck's sake. What the fuck? This is doing stupid things to me. Let's do a search on flying snakes. Okay. Britannica, is that fucking... All right. So, yeah, flying snake or gliding snake. Mildly venomous. Only dangerous to their small prey. I thought they were like Asian, Southeast Asian. So it climbs up trees, reach the end of the branch. The snake moves till its tail dangles from the end of the branch, makes a J-shaped bend, leans forward, propels itself by thrusting its body up and away from the tree, sucking in its abdomen, flaring out its ribs to turn its body into a pseudo-concave wing, all the while making continual serpentine motion of lateral undulation parallel to the ground to stable its direction in midair in order to land safety. So yeah, basically there are some snakes that fucking launch themselves from trees, colloquially known as flying snakes. I did not see the croc on the roof. That's an interesting one, because crocs generally up Darwin NT are pretty disturbing. Oh no, Strictly Zega, you spent over $3,000 on Blu-rays in 6 months. Wow. Yeah, you got to do what you love. But yeah, that's loving your hobby there. $6,000 in 3 months. So I don't want you to stop enjoying life. Yes, I looked that up, but I thought they were flying snakes. All right, so everyone's going on about how expensive things are getting in supermarkets, and they fucking are. What else is going on? Ooh, this is a fun one. Adelaide woman wins second defamation case against Google over search results. Search engine knowingly put derogatory comments about her online, despite her winning $100,000 from them in 2015. She was defamed by the comments in search results. Google won't have to pay damages for search results because the judge found it could not be proved beyond the balance of probabilities they were seen in Australia. Wowzers. Google claimed the defense of innocent dissemination because it could not know of defamatory search results without being notified of them. The justice said they had the means at hand to easily locate them if they wanted to. Wow. They did. Also, the judge dismissed Google's defense of triviality, saying Dr. Duffy was unlikely to sustain any harm. Wow, that's interesting. Complicated. Strictly say, movies are the thing with two heads. An operation goes wrong, and so the head of a racist onto a black soul brother. Oh my god, there were some fucking classics made in the 60s and 70s. The golden era of exploitation films. Good lord, that is a wild and wacky. Grasshopper on the Discord mentioning Casual Geographic on YouTube, and I'm not familiar with that. No. All right, are there any other fun news stories? Embracing working from home the way forward. Yes, of course it is. Okay. Just depressing stuff I'm not going to do. The storm that swallowed Melbourne and what it taught us. Well, that's a bit of a weird one. I don't know what that is. King Charles, because King Charles still seems weird. Seeing King Charles in headlines still seems weird. Oh, goodness. Perth has gone a year without reaching 40 Celsius. Sydney had a long time without really hot weather too. See, I refuse. There's like clickbait headlines. I think this is just an ad for Aldi. I think this is thinly disguised advertising. Aldi supermarket shoppers, unbelievable find on back of honey mustard chicken tonight jar will leave you speechless. Like, fuck you and your fucking clickbait headlines. I'm not clicking on it. Fuck you. The fantasy of sugar dating. I'm assuming that's the sugar daddy thingy. Which, again, just from what I've seen, if someone was thinking of doing that, sugar daddy or sugar mama type stuff, from the various things I've seen, you would be economically and psychologically and emotionally better off if you just did escort work, because it's very rare to hear one of those stories that doesn't end up being abusive, honestly. That's my hot take for the evening. So is anyone going to get any trouble from the Oh, the Robo Debt Royal Commission. Ah, no, it's bread and circuses. It's not a good thing. Oh, strictly Sega. I was thinking more in point of the person who was taking the money. The like sugar daddy, sugar mama relationship doesn't seem good, and I genuinely believe you'd probably be better off economically, physically, and emotionally if you did escort work or phone sex or cam stuff. And yes, I also agree. The whole sugar daddy thing is like, it also would seem more economical and better psychologically to pay an escort and not have some weird power imbalance relationship going on. That just seems weird and messed up to me. Oh. So I'm just looking at Pamela Anderson releasing a new book and documentary. There you go. Not really care. Tassie Pear's bid to make unloved cuisine sexy. Well, there you go. Which I think is pizza from the look of these stories. Kylie Jenner divides with tiny G-string mini skirt. Not it. I don't care about those people. McDonald's fan livid as controversial item disappear. It's again, that's like advertising. It's ridiculous. Ooh, everyone's going on strike in the UK, as they should. I'm trying to see. Ooh, hackers using a new trick to deliver phishing attacks. Got to see it. What's the dirty hacker trick? Uniquely crafted phishing emails. Using OneNote documents. Cybersecurity researchers note it's unusual for OneNote documents to be abused this way. Attackers are experimenting with them because they can bypass threat detection. Initially observed attachments not detected as malicious by antivirus engines. Put stuff in the fridge. What is it? Oh. Would it be a crime against nature if one of them disappeared? Oh god, they're freaking huge. I'm not eating one of them. Those ones are really big. Those ones are little. Can I have the little glazed one? All right. It's going to like snaffle donut, and it's the size of my goddamn head. It's so big. But that's a decent. It's just like a glazed donut. The other ones are so okay. They're going in the fridge. It might also be a bit stale. That's okay. I don't mind slightly stale donut. Let me put these in. Oh, okay, calm down. Yeah, that's for recycling. All right. So I'm going to do the rude thing and eat on camera, which is pretty disgusting thing to do. But little glazed donut, slightly stale. You know, I really shouldn't. So people are pissy because Diet Coke's been discontinued. Mac has removed it earlier. Okay. No, there you go. Exactly what you're saying. There are various, like particularly the websites that talk about sugar daddy things as scams. You'd be much better off paying for an escort when you wanted company. I'm not being even slightly cynical or sarcastic. I think that's a more honest and a more rewarding and a less physically, fiscally, and psychologically dangerous thing for both parties. Just have an honest transactional relationship with an escort when you feel you want the company and or sex. I think that's better for everyone. And yes, when I say those donuts were the size of my head, that means they're big fucking donuts. They're huge jam-filled donuts. So, yeah. And see, that's why it's dangerous, is my humble opinion. If you're doing this sugar daddy, you pretend the girlfriend shit, that's why it's dangerous. Because it's a gross power imbalance. There's basically an inherent lie at the core of the relationship. Oh, you want us to show the giant? Okay, I'm going to eat the more or less regular sized donuts, then I'll show you. But okay, here's the thing. There are various escorts who do what they call the girlfriend experience, where they do the whole thing. So it's not just sex. They make you feel good. They spend time with you. They go out with you. And that, there you go. Dr. Abigail knows it as well. Yeah. And yes, I absolutely understand getting divorced late in life, really emotionally debilitating. But I'm just going, based on observation, interacting with an escort who does the girlfriend experience is better on every level. Can make you feel good. Even it's definitely a fake emotional involvement, but I'm trying to think of the right way to put it, because I feel like saying it's an honest fake emotional involvement. And I just think it's safer for all parties, from a money point of view, from a physical safety point of view, and an emotional and psychological safety point of view. Oh yeah, no, that's the thing. As Trick Sega, it is really easy, particularly if you're older and single, to fall down that rabbit hole, be manipulated, make mistakes, do bad things yourself. But at least having a transactional relationship with an escort is more honest, and you know where the boundaries are, and you can throw a fantasy element in there. I just think the whole sugar daddy thing is very dangerous for everyone. All right. Being Rose eating a donut on stream. Oh. I don't need to eat it. There's a whole bunch of unnecessary calories I'm consuming, but what the fuck? All right. And yeah, honestly, again, through sites like OnlyFans, etc., again, where you will get models who will offer a virtual girlfriend experience thing. It's fake but honest, and there's a lot more to it. Oh, nice. Megaleech cranking out the old bread maker. I haven't used the bread maker much. I've had a bread maker for a long time. Haven't used it for a little while. Okay, I promised to show off the ridiculously large donuts. Right. Look, that's what I mean about them almost being the size of my head. They're ridiculous. They're so big. Oh my god. I need to put them away. That's very disturbing. Very disturbing. That was a very, very big donut. Probably an absolutely absurd amount of calories in that donut. So you can see why I didn't eat it. It's like, oh, you got donuts. I'll get one. Open it, and they're just the most ridiculously, yes, a honkin' chonkin' donut. That is an eloquent way to describe it. That was a ridiculously large donut. So we won't be having that. Just going back to this thing about phishing emails. No, they're just using different file types. All right, so this is a thing we actually do tests on at work if people fall for phishing emails. And if they do, we send them a thing saying, yeah, shouldn't have done that. This is just a training thing, but this is real. You gotta do it. Oh dear. Never is there anything else interesting? Show reviews, sports shit. $200 worth of chocolate at Coles. What they? Ooh, this kind of falls in with what we were saying. Sydney millionaire John Singleton, 81, splits from his carer girlfriend who was 44. It became an item in 2021, going public after Singleton suffered heart failure. Dennis moved in to care from him. Singleton's such a fucking weirdo anyway. What's going on? I'm sorry. I'm just loving all the things. Dr. Abigail, the donut was intimidating. It was a bit. Diabolical? Intimidating? A whole lot of nut? It was basically a large donut. I'm not prepared for that sort of commitment in my life. At this point in my life, I'm not prepared to commit to eating a donut that big. Oofed. On one level, it's tempting, and it's just like, I'd probably just fucking feel sick after eating it. What's this about Elmo Mush? Might become even more emboldened in his Twitter use after a jury cleared the billionaire Tesla executive over his missive. All right, so plaintiffs have claimed billions in damage. Jury came back with a verdict roughly 2 hours after beginning deliberations. So they've said he didn't actually breach any corporate laws, which is fucking ridiculous, honestly. Oh, good Lord. Sorry, and I'm just reminded at how bad courtroom sketches are. What's the point of courtroom sketches? I'm just going to share this. What are we doing? All right, look at that. like the drawing with the head that's too big and various things. It's like, what's the point of courtroom sketches when they're so bad? Like, I've even seen news reports where, because the case is ongoing, they had courtroom sketches and they pixeled out faces. And that was like the stupidest thing ever. Because, well, why not just draw a picture that doesn't look like the person? Draw it so it's Elvis and Marilyn Monroe in the court. It's just ridiculous. Oh, Dr. Rebecca, you just caught up with the first 3 episodes of Last of Us. So much online discourse about episode 3, which was just exceptional. It was very good. Amazing. Very unexpected, and something that was, you just expect to be a shoot 'em up, despairing post-apocalyptic thing, which I think like virtually every other episode is going to be. Without going too much of a spoiler, episode 3 is a love story, and it's incredible. It's so well done, and so unexpected that they just threw in a love story in the midst of this post-apocalypse horror, and it was so well done. It was so good. So, yes, I throw that in the unreserved recommendation list. The Last of Us. Who would have thought a video game adaptation would be so good? Something that's notoriously very bad. Yes, new episode tomorrow. Be looking forward to watching that with Mrs. Angry. Then we have to find something else to watch as well, because we were watching a show on Prime called The Rig, which is not bad. They actually, to my personal, and this might sound weird coming from me, environmentalist lefty, they laid it on a bit heavy with characters doing some environmental philosophizing. I think that was laid on a bit thick. Yeah, but strictly saying, it's not just movies. I've never played Halo, and so I didn't dislike the Halo TV adaptation, but apparently everyone who played and liked Halo thoroughly dislikes it. Whereas fans of Last of Us, even though the TV adaptation is taking numerous stylistic divergences from the game, because it's just a different medium to the game, mostly fans of the game love it. Trying to think of... Oh, there you go. Dr. Abigail played Halo and liked the TV show Halo. I liked it. I know the first thing that I knew was going to upset certain sorts of dweebs was Master Chief taking his helmet off. But, it's a whole thing. I'd watch more Halo if they make another season of it. The guy who played Master Chief, he's so fucking tall. He was, trying to remember his name. He's done so much stuff over the years. Brain go blanky. But he was also in American Gods as Mad Sweeney, the tall leprechaun, basically. Oh God, his name almost popped into my head because it's an unusual name. For some reason, the name popped into my head. It was the guy who used to do music for Dirty Harry movies, Lalo Schifrin. Yes, he was Pornstache in Orange is the New Black. Yes, he's done quite a bit over the years. He was in The Wire. He was quite good in The Wire. And I think he's got a brother or a cousin, the same name. Pablo Schreiber. Thank you. I don't know if you just knew that or looked it up. But yes, Pablo Schreiber. Very good. He's so tall. He's so big. And that's why they cast him as Master Chief, because he's big. But yeah, he was extremely good in American Gods as Mad Sweeney. Again, very disappointing they never finished American Gods. I don't know, they might even go back to it, like with the success of Sandman. And it now looks like they're doing a second season of Good Omens as well. This is Neil Gaiman adaptations. They did fucking 3 seasons of American Gods, but never finished the story. So who the hell knows? Maybe with the success of Sandman, and if the second season of Good Omens is successful, maybe they'll just go, hell, fuck, we should get back into American Gods. Because again, the lead in American Gods, he was so good. Ricky Whittle. He was extremely good. And you had Ian McShane playing Mr. Wednesday. Ian McShane's always good. Is he? I don't know if Ian McShane's ever not good. But that was pretty good. I was a fan of American Gods. Very disappointed that they didn't finish the story. Because also, I was just twigging on one thing. It's like at the end of season 1, there was a big reveal that was like super mega obvious. But there was and because I'd read the book American Gods, but quite a long time ago, there was a reveal at the end of season 2 that I had forgotten. So that was actually a bit of a surprise to me when they did it at the end of season 2. And then I thought I'd worked out there was going to be a big reveal at the end of season 3, which was about a character they call Mr. World, who is the nemesis of Mr. Wednesday. Who's fighting against our hero, Shadow Moon. And half to 3/4 of the way through season 3, I finally twigged and went, I've worked out who Mr. World is. And I thought that was going to be the big reveal at the end of season 3, but they didn't do it. And Noog, hello. All right, so quick search says... dwindling ratings and other things. Well, that's what I mean. Like, if taking into account the success of Sandman on Netflix, and if season 2 of Good Omens is successful, I think they might go back to American Gods and relaunch it to do another season. Because Neil Gaiman kept threatening to write more American Gods as well, like another novel. Because I know he wrote some short stories, because I read 1 or 2 of them. Oh no, the nuke that I'm commemorating today, and I did look it up and found out the US has lost and never recovered a total of 6 nukes. This one was off the Carolinas, I think. It's off the coast of the US anyway, and they never found it. There was a crash. There was a crash between a smaller plane and the B-52 that had the nuke on it, ditched into the ocean, and they never found it. But yes, slightly surprising to me because I looked it up. The US has lost and never recovered a total of 6 nukes. So that's fun, isn't it? 6 nukes out there somewhere. Awesome. Great stuff. No notes, United States. I think that's incredible. I remember seeing sketch comedy. I'm not sure if they were Canadian or from the US. The Smothers Brothers. I think it's possible that they were Canadians who were on US TV, but they had like a Tonight Show variety sketch show thing in the 70s, and a nuke got lost in the Arctic or something, and they had this whole routine about who the world powers were, the nuclear powers, and then there's the US, the Soviets, India, China, Pakistan, and some dude in a canoe up in the Arctic. Oh God, yeah. See, the thing is with the Soviets, they lie so much. We have no fucking idea what happened with all the Soviet nukes. We just don't. And again, because it's shrouded in so much bureaucracy and lies and whatnot. that really doesn't bear thinking about the potential of Soviet. Oh yeah, but Israel is a relatively recent nuclear power. They might not have been there. And yes, Britain and France. I probably should have said. I was just coming up with stuff off the top of my head. But yes, there's a lot of people who have nuclear bombs, which is disconcerting. Sorry, I'm just going to have a quick look at my clarifying. Oh god, it's finally doing it right. Thank you. Ugh. I'm just going to do this. Pour a bit more in. Right, so this is for anyone who missed it. Grand experiment I'm doing, a clarified cocktail that has vinegar in it. Oh yeah, there is the question about North Korea. Did China give them anything? It's very hard to be, again, speaking of people you can't trust because they lie all the time, it's very hard to know for sure what's happening in North Korea. So yeah. Do you think apartheid South Africa? Are you saying apartheid South Africa had a nuke? I mean, they certainly bought a lot of weapons and were heavily supported by the US and other countries. But because and there was the thing because the ANC were accepting help from the Soviets, which just reflexively made a lot of Europeans and Americans give weapons to the apartheid regime. The enemy in Top Gun. And I just watched Top Gun Maverick, and there's another thing. They never say which country they're attacking, but who's definitely doing a nuclear launch site or whatever that the Top Gun team have to bomb. Honestly, not a terrible movie. Quite entertaining. The whole politics thing of, yes, American imperialism and grossly bloated military spending is definitely a thing that's necessary because there are definitely people doing these nefarious things. Ugh, it's ridiculous. It's kind of like Mrs. Anger and I watched this really quite good show, about nefarious goings-ons on a British nuclear submarine, where a cop has to go onto a submarine to investigate a death, and there's a whole jurisdiction thing and what's going on. Blah, blah, blah. As a drama and cop thing, it was really quite good, but there was this utterly farcical Cold War era politics that they were pushing, and it's just like, oh my god! Still, it's not as bad as like the Jack Ryan series that Amazon ran with. It's like, the CIA has to overthrow a democratically elected government in Venezuela because they've definitely got nukes and are going to attack the US. It's just like, Jesus fucking Christ. Yes, Mega Leech, the Top Gun thing was obviously Iran, possibly with Chinese help, like the jets and stuff, which I don't think Iran has. I think there's like a suggestion it was like Iran with Chinese help. There's another thing always makes me think of one of the episodes of The Simpsons where they have a McBain movie and his enemy are commie Nazis. And, like he jumps into some guy's jet cockpit. Actually, I don't want to get it wrong. McBain commie Nazis. I want to get an appropriate image. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. Okay, this is a really tiny image, probably because it's from the pre-HD era of The Simpsons. Is that a bigger one? Okay, that's a bigger one. I'm going to share this. Yeah, no, in Top Gun Maverick, the enemy has these ultra next level fighter jets, which Iran doesn't have. So that's the whole suggestion that it's like Iran being helped by China. Okay, what was I going to do? I was going to share the commie Nazi picture just to refresh anyone's memory, if anyone forgets it. McBain's fighting that guy who's like a stereotype World War II movie German, but they're commie Nazis. So they've got a swastika with a hammer and stick. It's just, and you get the discourse with weirdo American conservatives like Trump lovers who act like that's actually a real thing. It's completely surreal. Absolutely surreal. Why won't men stop bullying me? Because that's what men are like. Sorry, that was a headline, one of the news sites. Rising interest rates causing property prices to tumble. No, they're not. Borrowers at risk of owing more than their houses are worth. Oh, just fucking chill out. 3 things we bet you didn't know you could cook in an air. Okay, I want to know this. What can I cook in an air fryer? Babies. I didn't know I could cook babies in an air fryer. Boiled eggs. Pop them in the air fryer at 150C for 8 minutes for soft boiled eggs, 10 minutes for medium, and 12 minutes for hard boiled. All right. Put them in the air fryer. Oh, yeah. All right. Boiled eggs. 2 ingredient dough pizza. Well, of course you can cook pizzas in the fucking oven. And donuts. Baked donuts. Why not? That was not quite as interesting as I was hoping it would be. Ooh, can Andrew's government make the new SEC work? Hopefully. Jesus, the Age is running a lot of stories on it. 2 days ago, unclear how a revived SEC will deliver on promises. Yesterday, how Labor turned public energy woes into election gold. Yesterday, New York SEC could sell power direct to homes and businesses. 16 hours ago, can the Andrews government make new SEC work? Well, it's a big deal. My hoping is yes, because fucking energy should not be privatized. It's ridiculous. Hey, Rays, what's up, man? Yes, Nazi Party had social. Yeah, they're just such fucking weirdos. People who say that. Rays, I have got to disagree with you on that. The Conservative parties around the world have slipped further and further to the right into an unhinged lunacy where they promote extreme bigotry as their core practices. I think it's important to say in that I don't trust the Labor Party. I don't even revere the Labor Party, but I believe it's completely and utterly false to use that line, they're all the same, because it's just not true. The most extreme example of it is in the US, but also the Democrats in the US suck way worse than Labor in Australia. But the LNP in Australia has been shifting further to the right, pandering to absolute unhinged conspiracy foaming at the mouth, far right fucking lunatics. Look at the shit Peter Dutton's saying He's a sniveling fucking pile of shit. So I understand the feeling that they're all politicians and you can't trust them. But to say they're the same simply isn't true. And hi, Justin, by the way. Here's the thing. If there's someone who's a huge cheerleader for Labor, I'm going to look a bit sideways at them, to be completely honest. I'm going to be, why would you exert so much energy to cheer for them? Because I really don't think they're worth it. Speaking of which, just reminded me of something. I feel like I haven't seen anything posted by... Speaking of Labour simps, I haven't seen anything posted by... Yeah, Friendly Geordies hasn't posted anything for 2 months since he did think about his house being firebombed. Someone threw a petrol bomb at his house. Wonder what he's up to. I think he's touring a show, maybe. But I'm intrigued he hasn't done a full length. I thought I hadn't seen or anyone talking about him, which usually means he hasn't been doing videos. That's okay. That's just a side thing. Scotty from marketing thankfully doesn't do much, but his replacement, the evil racist potato, Peter Dutton, is fucking nightmare. Rays, I completely understand going from minor party. Okay, a minor party, considering the minor party world is full of deranged lunatics and con artists, I would just say be very careful what minor party you go for. But I will unequivocally, black and white, no shade of ambiguity, say Liberal and Labor are absolutely not the same. There are huge fundamental differences. I would think a better thing to say, rather than they're the same, is, well, pretty much what you said there, that there are false promises made by both sides, and you're looking for someone with more integrity. I back that, absolutely. Yeah, so who knew if the firebombing on his house might have made him a bit cautious. But yes, I also thought he was touring a show. But yeah. Oh God, I just had a little pain in my shin. Remember me complaining about the pain in... Oh God, speaking of which, I was supposed to take a fucking anti-inflammatory. I didn't take one today. It's over here. All right. Oh God, no! I can feel a pain in my shin. If this thing kicks in seriously, I'll probably have to switch my microphone off, because what happened the other day, when it was like Tuesday or Wednesday, the pain was like someone stabbing me with a hot knife. Like I couldn't stop. I was screaming. Very unsettling for the people in the house because I was screaming in pain. No. But I just had this hint of a pain coming up in my shin. Goddamn, like if that kicks in full on, at the very least, I'll probably have to switch my microphone off So you don't hear me screaming in pain. And I might actually. So if the stream cuts out suddenly, I mean, it probably would be okay. If the stream cuts out suddenly, it's probably because my internet randomly fucked up. But if I sort of double over and then cut the stream off, it's because we're okay. Dr. Abigail, what happened? I don't know exactly. This happened on like Tuesday or Wednesday last week. I was in bed, and then there was just this pain, and it was like it was burning. The first thing that popped into my head, it felt like someone was using a magnifying glass, in the sun to burn. It was a really focused burning pain. It wasn't a cramp. I think it was in bed, and I was like kicking around and screaming. And Mrs. Angry and I both looked to see, was there a bug in the bed? Had I been bitten? But there's no mark on my leg. There's no bite. There's no bruise. There's no sign of it. And I had been having trouble going to sleep that night. And then after 30 seconds of screaming and writhing around, I was wide awake, and I definitely wasn't sleeping. So I moved and like slept on the lounge to not disturb Mrs. Angry, which is just as well because an hour later it happened again. Like I didn't get to sleep till 3 a.m. that night. I just sat up watching TV and stuff till I was exhausted, and then like slept for 3 hours. Then my alarm went off, and I had to go at working from home for a bit, but I was just fucked. And then went and slept for another couple of hours, and then I felt okay. And then in the mid-afternoon, it happened again, just randomly. This horrible, just worst ever pain, and is very focused on exactly the same point on my shin. And like I was trying not to be thing, but I couldn't stop myself from screaming in pain because it was just hideous. And it hasn't happened again since then. I went and saw a doctor on Friday, and he gave a cursory look, and with all the descriptions, he said, sometimes you get referred pain from like a pinched nerve in your spine and stuff. This doesn't seem like referred pain. This seems like something's there. So I'm going for an ultrasound this week. And he said basically what they're looking for is like if there's a tear in a muscle, or possibly even a foreign object there under the skin that's causing it. But he said that if the pain doesn't come back, and if the ultrasound doesn't reveal anything gnarly, then it's probably nothing to worry about. But if the pain comes back, then he said maybe I should go and see him again. And I think if the ultrasound reveals anything gnarly, he'll call me back in and go over it. Raze, I don't really want to push you on the live exports thing. I don't know how much you know about it, but the treatment of the animal in the live export trade is fucking nightmarish. Like, just absolutely horrific. Like, factory farming's bad enough, but those animals that are on ships for extended periods ending up knee deep in shit and whatnot, it's absolutely horrific. And yes, I hope it gets sorted because it is awful. It's like nothing I have ever experienced. It's weird. I've been known to get the occasional cramp or whatnot, but this was weird. Like I said, the only thing I can describe it as is very focused burning pain, like someone with a magnifying glass or a particularly nasty wasp, or maybe like someone's heated up a wire or the point of a knife and then stabbed me in the shin with it. But it really fucking hurt. And the pain lasted, I don't know, 30 to 60 seconds. Just incredibly acute pain. But it hasn't happened since about Wednesday. So that's good. And yes, Heine, I occasionally get cramps too. And they're very painful. This was not a cramp. This was very, very, very different to a cramp. And I don't know what it is, but maybe the ultrasound will reveal something, and maybe I'll know what it is. And so then maybe I'll know if there's something I can do to avoid it, have it not happen. We shall see. But yeah, no, that was very weird. Like I said, I just had this little phantom of like it was coming back. That would be a whole thing if it happened on a stream. And I'm just sort of writhing around screaming in pain. Because yeah, it was just that acute. I was literally, because I was hearing people in the house, I'm trying not to just like scream in pain, but I couldn't hold it back. It was just like this incredible piercing pain, and my God, it hurt so fucking much. And again, nothing I've ever experienced before. So, like I said, the doctor had a theory of it being a muscle tear or something weird, putting pressure on a nerve, like possibly a foreign object in there. Because that's the other weird thing with your body, the lymphatic system. You can sometimes get something like a splinter or even like a bit of metal, and it can travel really weirdly long distances through your body. Like bodies are fucking weird, honestly. Bodies are very, very, very strange. Bodies do incredibly strange things. And that one thing is how it can push foreign objects around in your body. Very strange stuff. I don't think that's what's happening to me, because I don't remember ever like getting a bad splinter or anything, or a metal thing stabbing into me. But we live in a strange and mysterious world, and you never know what's gonna happen. I certainly don't. So, yeah, I mean, I'm hoping, yeah, it's something comparatively minor. Maybe it's a torn muscle or something, and maybe with the right. He just said, so fantastic. Don't do any strenuous running or something. Right, good call. Because that's absolutely a thing that was very bad. Well, see, that was, my brain just straight to, maybe it's a blood clot and it's going to move from my shin into my heart or lungs or brain and I'll die. And the doctor's like, that's not what it is. That's not how that sort of thing presents. And, okay, good. But I am getting an ultrasound. So we'll find out. As I said, he thought the most likely thing was a tear in a muscle, that when it gets put under a particular sort of pressure, the acute pain thing happens. So it's like, okay, we'll go with that. We'll see what happens. So yes, like I said, I haven't had the acute shrieking pain, and hopefully it's not going to happen again, because it was extremely unpleasant. So that's, my health debacle. God, so I'm going into the office on Monday. I really don't want it to happen in the office. I don't want to randomly have this pain in my leg that's so bad I can't stop myself from screaming. Like seriously, if it happened, in my mind, I knew if it had happened again, I suppose there's still a chance tonight, but if it had happened again, like if it was recurring, I would say to the office, I'm not going in because I have this thing that makes me randomly scream at the top of my lungs. Not conducive to a positive office environment, really. Plus, I'm always looking for excuses to not go into the fucking office, because going to the office sucks balls and I don't like it. Actually, I honestly don't mind catching up with my team. I actually work with a good team of people and I don't mind catching up with them. But we'll see what happens this week. So, all you fine people, that's probably it for a Sunday night. And I'm going to sign off. See you another time. All things being equal, on Tuesday night. There's a lot of variables in this big wide world of ours. Who and heck knows what's going to happen in the next couple of days. But you'll take care, whatever you're doing, and I'm going to sail off. Well, the sun has set some hours ago. I'm going to go to bed. Yes, the night terrors where I scream at night. Hi, Svan. Bye, Svan. I'm going to bed now. See you all